You were listening to Charting Cryptos, Commodities, and Currencies. Let's jump, as we always do, into cryptos first. We'll start with the 24-hour-a-day Bitcoin chart. And you know what's been so beautiful about these last two turnarounds? They have gotten better and better and more easy to see in the traditional way, with the peaks and the valleys showing themselves with, of course, peak volume and peak price interim. Now, let's look at where things peaked on the up move. We had a huge spike, super high volume back on the week beginning the 8th of January. Then we had a red down candle. Then we had another red down candle again with higher than average volume. And then things turned around very quickly. But again, average volume, green candle, and again, interim low, and then things turned around and spiked up beautifully. Even if we go back here, not as clean, but still quite beautiful when we watched things as they came to bottom, right there with average volume. Then things slid along and they really started to take off higher than average volume after a doji with a nice green candle, and then started building. Not perfect in here, but much better than we have seen in the past with Bitcoin. So again, getting nicer. Maybe that's something that means that Bitcoin is getting more stable as we see more players get into it. Now, let's look at where we are with Ethereum. Ethereum also bottomed here. You can see where we had that interim low after things spiked up. Then that died, interim low. Then we had less volume, but on this latest rise, switched back over higher than average volume, green spinning top, shot up since then. And again, up as I record this, 2.11%. Bitcoin up 4.62%. That is just for the day. Where things started originally on Bitcoin, the high that week where things started to take off most recently, beginning the 29th of January, the high was 43,853. The high so far this week, 57,615. Beautiful. What's up with Bitwise 10 crypto index fund? Remember, these top 10 cryptocurrencies, they're weighted as per market share. The big dog, of course, is Bitcoin. We saw this crazy spike down in mid-January. Again, then things turned around, started to take off with average volume, and then, building up from there, going from a starting high that first week, the 29th of January, of $22.87 to a most recent high of $25. So again, from about 23 to about 26 in 1, 2, 3, going into 4 weeks. So cryptos looking quite nice. It's nice to see all those others piling into that crypto space with the spot Bitcoin ETFs and all the other stuff that has been happening. It's so interesting to see that happen. Still a lot of naysaying, a lot of risk, but again, interesting to practice trade. Now let's see where we are as we jump into some commodities. First, we'll look at corn. I show you corn because it has just continued to trunnel down. And of course, we see, again, no great volume spikes. Saw one here, don't know what that meant, but corn just rolled over and up for the day. And again, we haven't seen this much up volume in corn in a long time. We really have to go back. So keep your eye on corn. Could be something happening there. Don't know. Just a spike for the time being, but something to put in your pipe and potentially smoke on. What's going on with soybeans? Soybeans just continuing to spike down. We can see where they sort of grounded here recently, but we've seen that happen before and then move on down. So it is interesting. That feed crop, humans eat it, animals eat it, and again, just continuing to bottom. What about natural gas? As we look at nat gas, U.S. nat gas, what do we see? Well, it had several weeks of a lot of strong down moves. Here recently, that has been slowing. We have a small red down candle, little wick on the bottom. Again, nothing's blowing out of the water here when it comes to volume yet, but where things have been spiking down over the last few weeks, we had some volume, and we'll just sort of keep our eye on things. See, is natural gas coming to a bottom here? Maybe so, maybe not. What about oil? U.S. oil fund, where is that going? Well, it struggled. As we got to the end of the year, we saw things sort of interim bottom here, tried to sling along and move up some. And again, oops, I didn't mean to move that. Where we were this last week, we're about the same place where we've been the last 3 weeks. Again, we will keep an eye on oil and see if it has any ability to take off. That is where we are when we look. And again, we are looking at the spike here when it was trying to find a bottom, but then it went on lower after that. It's just sloppy. So we'll keep an eye on it, see just what's going to happen with oil. Lastly, we'll move to our world currencies. We'll start in alphabetical order with the British pound. Now, again, we saw the pound move down for 3 weeks, 2 weeks of starting there in late January, early February, where it looked like things are going to roll over hard. And then the last 2 weeks moving up some. So we'll keep our eye on the pound. We look at the euro, same kind of thing, although its downslide started at the beginning of the year where it spiked at the end of the year. Nice strong down move. Now trying to turn around, but none of this is backed up by any volume to help us out at all. And the yen just continues moving on down. Again, nothing to write home about the yen when it comes to volume or anything taking off. So that is where we are on the currencies we're looking at this week when it comes to the British pound, the euro, and the yen, when it comes to the commodities that we looked at, and of course, the biggest winners here of late, the cryptocurrencies. And I'm excited about how much easier it has been getting to read these charts using volume and, of course, using the Heiken Ashi candlesticks. We love to hear from you. You have questions, problems, concerns. Don't ever hesitate to reach out to us, cw@chartingwealth.com. Let us know what you think. Let us know what we can do to help you. Let us know what trainings you need, what things we might say that you don't quite get or understand. We're here for you. We do all of this for free. We appreciate our Patreon support that underwrites the cost of the channel. And of course, when you become a Patreon member, first thing you get, Options Made Simple, the Charting Wealth Way, a 3-part video series, free. It's one of your bonuses at any of the 3 levels as a Patreon supporter. God bless my friends. All the best from the whole team at Charting Wealth World Headquarters.